Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we are solving one of the NBA's biggest mysteries. I'm excited for this, man, because there's a lot of mysteries in the NBA we probably don't know about, probably aren't privy to. But Jimmy High Roller's coming in clutch with this one, man. I'm on a mission to learn as much as I can about the game of basketball. I started watching ball in 2010. There's so much of history I do not know, and I have a feeling this is going to break my brain with some NBA history that I was not aware of. So let's check it out, Jimmy.
Chris Paul, Tiny Archibald, Kemba Walker, Tim Hardaway, and Allen Iverson.
Okay.
What do all of these players have in common?
They're short.
Small, unassuming, against all odds, pound for pound, pure hoopers.
Dude, I'm gonna like this, man, because I don't know much about Tiny Archibald. Don't know much about Allen Iverson's game. I know he made it to the finals for Scobie. I know he broke Michael Jordan's ankles one time. I definitely know about Kemba, but we're here to learn.
The odds of someone shorter than 6 feet making it to the NBA is 0.0018%.
So I got a
The
chance.
odds of an NBA player scoring 25 points per game or more in a season is 2%. In other words, being an undersized star in the league is near impossible. And yet these guys defied all odds and did it. Being small in a league full of giants is more than just a disadvantage. It's almost insurmountable, which led me to ask the question, who is, pound for pound, the greatest scorer ever?
Ooh.
We hear this phrase often with guys like Iverson and Curry, but it's usually used as a loose term with no real defining metrics.
Are you about to tell me Michael Jordan's not the greatest pound for pound scorer of all time?
But what if it did? What if we actually took this age-old term and applied real numbers to it? If there was a way to definitively determine who is the best pound for pound scorer in NBA history, who exactly would it be? Now I know the concept of pound for pound
Allen Iverson's my prediction.
is a bit arbitrary. It favors the little guy while punishing the big guys.
Yeah.
Two players can have the same exact production, but the smaller player wins the pound for pound argument because, well, he's smaller.
Yeah.
But that's the point. The big guys are always granted the advantage of size. So this time around, we are going to flip the script and factor in size as an actual metric.
I like that.
Not that being bigger automatically makes everything easier, but it definitely helps. Sure, this is an abstract concept created by sports fans to stand up for the little guys. It's not even necessarily valuable information, and it's not even all that fair. Guys like Shaq are punished for being massive. But it's my video. And who's gonna stop me?
True.
So first I want to lay out the ground rules for this discussion. The phrase pound for pound refers to size, not just weight. So in order to make these calculations, we will be factoring in weight and height. We will also be factoring in the era that these players played in because the context of the game is just as important as the game itself.
Sure.
So we'll be adjusting pace of play for each era to be the same across the board to make things a bit more accurate. And last, at the end of every great player's career, there is bound to be a stretch of years where stats will plummet due to old age bringing down their career average. So to prevent players currently in their prime from having an advantage, we will only be taking a 6-year window from the best seasons of each respective player's career.
Good idea.
This way, those subpar Twilight
Dude, I have no idea what the outcome is going to be, and I love
years
that.
from legendary players will not count against them. So in order to get the most accurate numbers, we'll break it down like this. 1 point for each inch in a player's height, and a half a point for every pound in their weight. This will be their size score. Then we divide their points per game from that size score.
Okay.
With this grading system, the player with the lowest overall score is pound for pound the best scorer. It sounds complicated, but it's pretty simple. For example, at 6'9", 250 pounds, LeBron James has a size score of 206 and a prime adjusted scoring average of 31.6. This gives LeBron an overall pound for pound score of 6.52. For comparison, Kevin Durant has a size score of 194.5. On KD's bio, it says that he's 240, but we all know that's a damn lie. His draft weight was 215, so I'd say he's about 225 at the moment.
Fair enough.
And with an adjusted prime scoring average of 31.8, Kevin Durant has a pound for pound score of 6.12, making him pound for pound a better scorer than LeBron. Now keep in mind, eras like the 60s and 70s had far more possessions than today's game, and today's game has more possessions than the 90s and 2000s. This distinction will be a key variable throughout this video. So now that we have laid down the ground rules, Let's get into this.
Do it.
Big players have an obvious disadvantage. Here is a list of the greatest big scorers in league history. When adjusting pace of play for all players to be a standard 100 possessions, Wilt Chamberlain still leads the pack with an average of 32.5 points per game. Keep in mind, we are only using each player's best 6-year window. To no one's surprise, Shaq has the highest size score of 247.5. The next closest player in terms of size is Wilt with 222.5. But overall, it is Kevin Durant who comes out on top with a relatively low size score and a nearly 32 point per game average, which gives KD a pound for pound score of 6.12. Among big guys, LeBron comes in second with a pound for pound score of 6.52, and Wilt comes in third with a pound for pound score of 6.85. But what about
Bob?
average size guys? Not the guys who will bully you down low, but not the smallest guys in the league beating the odds. Players like Kobe, Mike, and Wade. Well, I haven't crunched the numbers yet, but if I had to guess, I think we'll see some better pound for pound scores since these guys have just enough size to not have a disadvantage on the court while not being so big that it hurts their pound for pound score. And after doing the math, I was right. On average, the greatest NBA scorers with a relatively medium frame have a better pound for pound score than the big guys. Of all the bigger players, Kevin Durant had the best pound for pound score of 6.12. In this category, James Harden, George Gervin, Kobe Bryant, and Michael Jordan all have a better pound for pound score, with Jordan topping the charts with an absurd score of 5.29. Harden, Curry, and
This beat always gets me, man. But yeah, I'm not shocked Jordan's at 5.29. Let's remember that for whenever we do the and my face might be in the way. Oh my gosh. I misclicked. No!
At Garden of Life,
No!
we combine.
I can't say I'm shocked. Okay, I'm back. I can't say I'm shocked Jordan's at number 1, 5.29. Let's see where he ranks with everybody else, though.
Harden, Curry, and Westbrook are among the top 3 pound for pound scorers among active players. And one name that doesn't get nearly enough love in the basketball world is Adrian Dantley,
True.
a 6'5", 200-pound forward who averaged over 30 points per game in 4 consecutive seasons. Dantley, a player who is never mentioned when discussing some of the greatest scorers in league history, has the 7th best pound for pound score of the 28 players featured so far in this video. But if the average size guys put up a better overall score than the big guys, where do the little men stand? Where do players like Allen Iverson, Chris Paul, and Kemba Walker fall on the list of best pound for pound players in NBA history? Well, surprisingly, unlike the drastic shift we saw from big players to average size players,
Michael Jordan's still number 1.
we don't see an across-the-board improvement when we look at pound for pound value in some of the smallest scorers in league history. But there are a few players that exceed their counterparts, like Kemba Walker, who at just 6 feet 170 pounds maintains a pound for pound score of 6.9. But standing far above the pack, pun 100% intended, is Nate Tiny Archibald, who at just 6'1", 150 pounds has a pound for pound score of 5.32, a score that rivals Michael Jordan. But of all the best pound for pound scores the NBA has ever seen, there's one player that has defined that phrase more than anyone else.
AI.
A player that many all-time greats refer to as the most unstoppable offensive weapon, regardless of height. The guy who inspired me to make this video, Allen Iverson. At just 5'10", 165 pounds, Iverson has an adjusted scoring average of 33.1 points per game and a pound for pound score of 4.61. A score far better than any other player in NBA history.
Yeah, dude.
When looking at a graph of adjusted points per game and size, Allen Iverson falls right here, in a league of his own. And honestly, this isn't all that surprising. One of the smallest players in the league scoring the ball at an all-time rate. In fact, Iverson could have put up 29 points per game instead of his adjusted 33.1, and he would still have the best pound for pound score. Keep in mind, Allen Iverson also played in an era where pace was at an all-time low. In his prime, the league was averaging just 91 possessions per game. For comparison, today the league is averaging 101 possessions a game, and in Wilt Chamberlain's prime, the league was averaging 128. So here's a list of the top 10 best pound for pound scores in league history.
The fact that Tiny Archibald almost passed up Jordan is blowing my mind. And he's above Kobe.
Only
Sheesh.
2 players from the small category
And also, dude, Steph Curry being that low at 10 is also shocking to me.
cracked the top 10. Kevin Durant is the only big player to make it in, and the other 7
Wow.
fall somewhere in the average size category.
Shout
Stephen
out
Curry,
KD.
a player that is known more as a shooter than a pure scorer, makes the list at number 10. Nate Tiny Archibald outclasses everyone not named Iverson and Jordan, and again, Adrian Dantley of all players makes this all-time scoring list. These are the best pound-for-pound scorers in NBA history. And just like everyone has been saying for the last 15 years, Allen Iverson is truly the best pound-for-pound scoring machine to ever play the game. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Any
Crazy,
names on
dude.
this list that surprised you?
Tiny
I'm
Archibald.
interested to see who would be the pound-for-pound greatest overall player if we accounted for all stats and metrics like rebounds and assists. But in an effort to keep my sanity, I decided I didn't want to crunch numbers for the next 3 weeks, so I stuck with just scoring.
Fair enough.
Hope you all enjoyed.
I did enjoy. Big shout out to Jimmy High Roller. Always pulling out the coolest facts and data out there. But let me know what y'all think. Is Allen Iverson the greatest pound for pound scorer you've ever seen? Do you think he's better than Jordan scoring wise? Obviously, Jordan had the physical advantage. Iverson did not. And he's potentially the greatest scorer of all time, if you put it that way. So let me know what y'all think. Would you put AI above Jordan simply because of his weight and size disadvantage relative to Jordan? Obviously, Jordan's the best all time, period. But how much effort, like how much do you put into the whole weight and size thing? I'm curious. But yeah, man, I gotta check out some more Allen Iverson. I do not know much about his game, so perhaps this is my opportunity to dig into him deeper. Thanks everybody for watching. Hope you have a great day, night, whatever time of day it is for you. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Doses.